am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the Mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. Father, I am one with God. We honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. We honor the place in you of love, light, truth, and peace. We honor the place in you where when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there is only one of us. Namaste. And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to Unity of Kalamazoo. I am Barbara Galati, your platform assistant for today. We have a very special service planned. But first, let's take care of a few things. It will be a great time to silence your phones if you haven't already. And if there are any visitors here for the first time, we'd love to have you fill out a card, the yellow card in the pew pocket, and return to an usher as you leave. And we thank you for being with us today. Now please join me in our mission statement. As an all-inclusive community, we awaken to spirit, grow into our soul, and build a better world. And our vision statement, we celebrate a world of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all. And our core values, love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness. So, as I said, today is a very special day. We have the good fortune to have back with us as our guest speakers the team of Armand and Angelina, all the way from Florida. They will be providing the music and the message to us today. Armand is an award-winning songwriter and inspirational speaker whose enthusiastic presence inspires us all to love life passionately. Angelina's heart-opening and angelic voice draws from many languages. She was classically trained at Indiana University and was formerly with Epcot Center. They are international performers using songs, stories, and humor to remind us now to open our hearts and remember that we are meant to experience heaven on earth. So sit back, relax, and enjoy their special brand of music and inspiration.
That was one of the nicest introductions I ever wrote. Well, we are delighted to be back with you. It was June of 2019. We were all scheduled to come back in 2021 because we missed you, and some weird world pandemic happened. So
Right.
glad that you were here. We are glad to be part of the unpausing.
Everyone we talk to loves Kalamazoo.
Yeah. Well,
Like, oh, you're going to Kalamazoo. You have to go here. You have to go there. So you guys are really, your city's really loved, and we love you. So
true. And we just love Michigan. We don't know what it is. This is the only thing I can come up with after being here twice, because 2019 was our first time, is that although people may be proud of their politics or whatever, it's okay for you to be proud of your politics that are different. And in Florida, that's not true. They like their politics and they don't like your politics, and vice versa. And so we just feel like it's a very accepting, you be you kind of state. And so we want to kind of bring that back with us to Florida if we can. All right, so let's do a joy song before we do our daily word. And we're going to teach you something very easy. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. And we can do that also in many other ways. Anything that we feel that there's not enough peace in the world, maybe Congress. Start with finding peace within yourself. Learn to get along better with the people around you, especially on the other side of the aisle, whatever that is for you. And then it will transform the world, one person at a time. Okay. So we'll teach it to you, and then hopefully you will join us. Out there in Cyberland, y'all can sing too. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Like the Macarena, we got hand movements. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. If every journey begins with a single step, I'm taking my first step now. If we are to be the change that we want to see, I'm changing myself now. Always a good place to start, the one in the mirror. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. All right, we're gonna get a little funky with Sebastian. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yeah. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yo, 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 don't wait for peace to come. Be the change you want to see. Gandhi said that, yo. Angelina says, you've been watching too much Hamilton, Armand.
That's right.
All right, so Angelina's going to read the daily word.
I have to use my little wisdom glasses, so excuse me.
Wisdom glasses, I like it.
Okay, today's daily word is inspired by John chapter 18, verse 37. Purpose. I pursue my purpose with passion. Over the course of my life, I have discovered what has kindled my passions, captivated my attention, and made me feel most alive. My passions lead me to discover my purpose, to which I choose to devote my time and my life. My highest spiritual purpose is to live from my divine nature. My divine gifts of life, love, and wisdom express uniquely through my passions, fulfilling me while demonstrating the truth of my being. I listen to the still, small voice of spirit within to discern the best way to fulfill my purpose. I heed its call to learn, discover, and grow. It is never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I am ready, willing, and more than able. And scripture, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth.
And we'll move into meditation by starting with a chant. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And we invite you now to close your outer eyes if you like and relax. Quiet the mind and bring your attention to the breath. Allowing the sounds to enhance your deeper connection with Spirit. Going within. By connecting deeply with that still small voice of God. Our passions and our purpose become clearer. We can set an intention to become more aware of what is ours to do. This has nothing to do with what others are doing, what others are achieving. We are here simply to do what is ours to do. When our life is in alignment with that, we feel on purpose. And at peace. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey into your divine purpose. And the passion that comes with that. Very gently now, begin to bring your attention to this physical place where our souls hang out for a while as we discover who we are. Connect more deeply with our own higher power, which is one with all higher power. Thank you, Great Spirit, for guiding me to do what is mine to do. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, and so it is. Amen. Angelina will now lead us in singing the Lord's Prayer, and I will speak the Aramaic. Abund was Maya. Need to Kadash Shmach. Tete Malkuta. Nechwai de Savinach. I cannot wash Maya O Baracha Haulan Lachma Sumkanan Yalmana Washwoklan Halbain Aikana Dafnan Shwaken El Hayabain Ula Talan El Nisdona Ela Pasana Nibisha Mital Ilaki Malputa Uhala Utish Bokta La Alam Almin Amen. And we invite you to breathe in these words given to us by our great way-shower, reminding us that we were meant to experience heaven on earth right here, right now. And so it is. So we're excited to be with you for a couple of days. Going to be here this morning, this afternoon, and then tomorrow night for some more fun. I think the last time we were here, y'all were doing Mamma Mia somewhere, and something like that was going on around there. So today's message is, I now pronounce you not guilty. I took the wedding vows and the court vows together. I do that. I'm constantly looking to bridge two things together. In our community, it's called squirrel. Anyway. So here's the difference between a narcissist and a person with ADHD. A narcissist purposely gaslights you, lies to you, ignores you. A person with ADHD saw a bird and forgot you existed. So she's launching me, lassoing me back now and then.
But I will say this, because Armand really studied ADHD, also known as VAST now.
Variable attention stimulus trait.
He says that he has a superpower, and those with that condition have a superpower. And anyone who has a condition like that is a superpower. So what Armand does when he sees children especially, and they're acting up or doing what people think they should be doing, Armand always says, wow, you have a great superpower. And so it gives them confidence. It makes the kid feel, empowered and good about themselves. And the parents really appreciate that too. So I just think that's great.
You're awesome. What is this, Mutual Admiration Society Day? Okay. So today
because you're not guilty, right?
I'm not guilty. A lot of things are just being aware.
Right. So these children or people think they're doing something wrong or not doing it right. If you say you have a superpower, then you're not going to feel, wow, I shouldn't have done it that way, or I feel guilty, or all those voices that talk in our heads that say we're not doing it right.
And that actually does align really well with our message, because we've got to take the stigma around a lot of these mental conditions. Take the stigma away. Just like we don't have the same stigma if somebody has diabetes, we find them their insulin. We need to do the same thing with people that are struggling with other situations. And that's happening more and more. Elon Musk has come out and talked about his Asperger's, and people are just really taking the stigma away and the shame. And that's the bottom line. There's a certain amount of shame when you feel different from other people and you think they're doing it right and I'm not. And I have a shirt that says, ADHD, it's not a disability, it's a different ability. And so anyway, and that's the truth with all of us. We're all perfect the way we are. There's no shame. Now, I don't know about you, but in one of my very early church experiences, I heard, you were born in original sin. Anybody ever heard that? Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? You go to a spiritual place to feel more connected to God, and then they tell you that you're, messed up. That's ridiculous. You're not working right. You're born in original sin. You're doomed. And I never resonated with that. And then I got into Unity around 1984. The only reason I went is because somebody said they talk about the same kind of stuff I do. And I said, there's no way, there's no church that talks about that. And they said, well, they call themselves the church for people that don't like church. And I said, okay, I'll try that. And I've been hooked ever since, never thinking that my whole career would be wrapped around these teachings. But I heard you were born as an original blessing. And all of a sudden, that felt right. You were born as an original blessing. Of course, this little Sebastian was born as an original blessing, just like all of us. And that felt better to me. And then I heard some other things like affirmative prayer, which we talked about 3 years ago. And that felt good to me, affirming in advance the outcome that you would like and trusting Spirit to know what's best for you. Okay, and then I heard Father, Mother, God. Okay, that freaked me out a little bit because it went against my brainwashing. And then I went, Father, Mother, God. The other day I had a squirrel thought, and it went like this. I'm neither male nor female. I identify as they, God. I know that's a little weird, but anyway, that's how it feels. No putting in a box, God, putting God in a box. And so these things just kept making me feel better and better about myself and my place in life. And to me, that's what spirituality is all about. So I made a commitment that I was going to help people realize that they don't need to feel guilt and shame for being the perfect child of God they are. And if you're different, you're just coloring out of the lines. The bottom line is great art didn't happen because everybody colored in the lines. Van Gogh went way out of the lines. Anybody see the Van Gogh immersive experience? It's traveling around the country, but if it comes anywhere near, I highly recommend it. We were in there for hours. And usually if we do any kind of a museum thing, we're like, that's cool, that's nice. Oh, that's a neat picture, and we're out of there in 30 minutes, the whole museum, especially art museum. We don't understand. Do you understand that one? It's really valuable. I don't get it, that kind of stuff. But this Van Gogh, do you know Van Gogh's wife used to say something to him, and it would go in one ear and out the same ear? Squirrel. So color out of the lines. It's your character, it's your flavor. Okay, we didn't come here to all be the same. Some people say, well, if we could all think alike, then we'd have harmony. Where's our musicians out there? No, that's monotony. That's unison, and there's a place for unison, okay? But harmony is all these different voices and all these different characters and all these different colors and all these different flavors. In Louisiana, I'm from Louisiana, I'm a Cajun, and we put lots of different flavors in the same sauce or soup. Makes people freak out. I'm half Italian and half Cajun. My favorite food is crawfish Parmesan. But we put a lot of different flavors in, and we find a way to make those flavors all work together for a fabulous outcome. And to me, that is really what unity stands for. It stands for getting us all together, letting everybody find their own way to God. Unity does not teach us what to think. It does help inspire us how to think for ourselves, which is perfectly in alignment with the daily word. What is our purpose? What are we here to do? What is our passion? So, as we let go of shame and guilt, we feel better, which Greg Bear from the Real Love work says it fills us up, because shame and guilt deplete us, okay? Shame and guilt and anger and resentment and disappointment, they deplete us, okay? But knowing we are perfect children, you know how I know you're a child of God? I never read in any spiritual text, and I've read a lot, that you're an adult of God. Am I right? Am I right? Okay, yes or yes. So yeah, we're children of God forever. There's a little child inside of us. I've been doing a lot of work with a guy named Matt Kahn, listening to his books and CDs, and he basically says, treat everyone like you would a 5-year-old child on some level, because guess what? There's a 5-year-old child in everyone. Well, maybe not a 4-year-old, but anyway, everybody that's 5 and up has a 5-year-old child in them, and treat them that way. You know, and here's a big one. Treat yourself that way. Who finds it easier to be nice to God and other people than themselves? You know why? We have more ammunition. We know more stuff about ourselves than we do other people. And those are all ways that the ego uses to make us feel guilty and shameful.
Because we've also been told what to say, what not to say. If you do, you get scolded or grounded or whatever if you're not doing it the right way.
That's right. And Greg Bear also in his Real Love work says that children, and that's all of us, they sometimes don't identify all the different emotions. They interpret things in a very simple way. If we inconvenience the parents and they yell at us, we hear, I'm not lovable. When the parents get disappointed in our schoolwork, we hear, I'm not lovable. Now, in unity, you will rarely ever hear limitations, because this is like any Ted Lasso fans out there? Big Ted Lasso fans here, greatest TV show ever written in my opinion. So Ted says, when I see the word impossible, I don't see impossible, I see I'm possible. And so he's a very unity kind of guy. And so that's the way it is. And kids basically interpret, here's the deal. No matter how hard you try, it is impossible for you to ever be unlovable. Who's tried? Come on. You've done some things where you thought, I'm gonna be unlovable if I do this. We saw another movie recently on Apple TV. It was called The Sky is Everywhere. And my favorite line in that movie, The Sky is Everywhere, is this young girl goes up to her uncle. He's kind of a cool unity kind of uncle. And she said, what if I did something really, really, really bad? And he went, don't do it again. Now that sounds simple, doesn't it? But to let ourselves off the hook for the stuff we did, what they call in unity missing the mark, which they say is an archery term for what an actual sin is. A sin is you're going for the bullseye and you miss it. Anybody ever sinned? Missed the mark? Shoot better next time.
Because with those experiences, wisdom.
That's right. This is one of my favorite things. Where does good judgment come from? Experience. Where does experience come from? Bad judgment, yes. So it all serves us. We really can't get it wrong, okay? I look at life a little bit like bowling. We have any bowlers out there? So in bowling, you get 2 balls and you need to get all 10 of them down. You got 2 chances. But in life, you get as many chances as you want. You get another ball. Well, there's still 2 pins standing over there. I keep missing that one. You'll get a chance. Just keep throwing the ball. Keep moving in that direction. Keep improving. Be better today than you were yesterday. And if you do something really, 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 really bad, don't do it again, okay? Just love yourself the same way you would a little 5-year-old that did something bad. I love you. I know you didn't mean to. I know you learned your lesson, and you'll do better. So here's an example of what he says happens to us when we're especially little. When our caretakers, adults, teachers, advertisers tell us that they're disappointed in us, or tell us that they're angry with us. Now, being angry is natural, okay? But taking out that anger on someone is not healthy or helpful to you or the other person, especially the inner child. Disappointment, anger, resentment. The child hears, I'm not lovable. Or, I got a lot of really good messages mixed in with those, so I always heard, I am really lovable as long as I don't inconvenience those adults. You see, there was always a as long as or an if. And so I spent a lot of my life trying to make sure that I did everything right. And if I didn't do everything right, I figured I'd make them laugh and they'd forget about it. So I became a comedian partially to compensate for the fact that I didn't feel very good about myself, but at least if people were laughing, they weren't hitting me, okay? So that actually worked out pretty good. I found a wife that thinks I'm hysterical. 21 years, it's awesome. It's awesome. So we learned to compensate for not getting the unconditional love.
Right,
That
and
we
that's
deserve.
where behaviors can come in, like, where you are defending or victim or attacking, because that's a protective thing that that young people, young kids can learn these behaviors to protect their...
Exactly. Now, one of the great things that Greg talks about that takes the shame out of relationships is if we get triggered. Anybody ever been triggered? You're gonna have to live by yourself on a mountaintop to not get triggered by people, okay? Because people are crazy. You ever heard that country song? God is great, beer is good, people are crazy. That is the greatest country line of a song I ever heard. And we're all just making it up. And so, if you get triggered, your natural instinct is to attack or trigger the other person back. And all that does is create challenges. Remember they used to say in the Old Testament, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and that left everyone toothless and blind, okay? Triggers, when you get triggered and then you go to trigger the other person, it's an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and it doesn't work. And our wayshower came to say, turn the other cheek, which is to see it from a different way. Now here's how Angelina turns the other cheek when I trigger her.
Right, so I learned this during menopause because I never knew what kind of mood would come up or what would trigger me. And I knew if I didn't get out of the room really quick, I was going to blow up and say things that I would regret later. So what I learned to do is I feel like I'm getting triggered, and I say I have to go outside for a minute or two. I'll be back, but I just need to go sit outside. So I sit in my chair outside in the sun, and I just sit there going, okay, breathe, get centered, see what's going on, what's the cause of all this. And I never go back inside until I know, is it me and just my stuff, or is it something that we need to talk about because I don't want that to happen again? And 99 whatever percent of the time, it's just me and my stuff. So I never come back in the house until I know what's going on. And then usually I come back and Armand apologizes, and I always say, well, you don't have to apologize because it was really my stuff. So.
But while she was out there getting filled up, I'm in the house getting filled up. And one of the ways I get filled up is I go, was I the most considerate that I could be? Can I do it differently? Could I have thought about maybe saying it a different way? Not with a shame and a guilt, but with accountability. See, accountability is different than shame and guilt. Accountability is making amends, maybe apologizing, okay? Figuring out how you can be a better person versus guilt and shame that says there's something wrong with you. All of us are comfortable, our souls are comfortable feeling like we did something wrong, but none of our souls are comfortable feeling like there's something wrong with us. Okay? Have you ever met anybody that is impossible for them to apologize and they never ever take ownership? Also known as a narcissist. I saw a great meme. I'm really sorry for what I did. I could have done it better. Said no narcissist ever. But the sad part, if you want to have some compassion for them, is they don't see the difference between I made a mistake and I am a mistake. And so they can never say, I made a mistake, because they're actually so deeply feeling on some level that they're afraid to ever even say, I made a mistake, because they think they are a mistake. So we can have compassion for them, and we can also keep our distance, you know? And so let me give you an example of what Greg Bear says we can do when someone triggers us and we get emptied up. So let's use an example. Let's say, you have a 16-year-old child, you're teaching them how to drive, and you said, just go in and out of the garage for now, just drive down the pavement, don't go out in the street, then come back, just get a feel for it. And they end up driving through the garage while the garage door is down. And you're there to see it. Now, you're gonna have a lot of emotions coming up at that point, and they're probably not gonna be good. Okay? And you're gonna get kind of emptied out. You're gonna feel an urge to shout and yell and scream and tell them how bad they are. It's just natural. I can't believe you did this. What's wrong with you? And what he says to do at that time is he says, take a breath and realize that you are empty. And then go up to the child and say, look, I know you didn't do it on purpose. I love you. I don't love you any less because of what you did. We'll talk about it later, but I'm feeling a little messed up right now. This is me. I need to go take care of it. And I go to my friend and I say, I want to kill my child. Can you help me, Tom? And Tom goes, yeah, let's talk about that. What happened? And what happens is Tom talks to me, and while Tom's talking to me, I'm getting filled up. And Tom goes, so what'd you really lose? Metal and plastic, a few dollars. We know you love your child a lot more than those things. And what Tom does is he empathizes with me. He says he understands. He fills me up. And then I'm ready to go back. Still love you. I know you're probably feeling pretty bad about what you did. We're going to handle this. I know you didn't do it on purpose. I love you the same way I did. We're going to be using your allowance for the next 10 years. Because children love consequences and discipline. On a soul level, they know that they are loved by getting that, as long as they know they are loved while they're facing their consequences and while they're getting disciplined. And they've proven it with kids and with animals. The ones that feel the safest are often the ones that are disciplined, as long as it's done with love, consequences, and discipline. Okay, and so that is a great way to make sure that we are filled up before we lash out at somebody. Again, anger and resentment and disappointment, those are all natural human emotions, but you don't want to take it out on other people. Find somebody who's neutral like Tom, who can fill me up before I can go back and talk to my kid. And that's for everybody. Facebook is notorious. Somebody says something that triggers somebody, there's no tone. If you noticed, Facebook doesn't have tone. They're just words, okay? And so the tone, if you were with somebody and they said the same thing, you might hear it differently. There's no tone, okay? And then they get triggered and they write back and they write back and they write back, and all of a sudden people are breaking up over a dumb Facebook post, okay? And it's because they don't get filled back up before they write. If you get triggered on Facebook, turn off your computer. Call a friend. I want to kill that person there. Anyway, call your friend, get filled back up. So we used to watch Oprah.
Do you think there's something you might want to read?
Okay, but let me just tell you this before I do this. Thank you. I can't stand it when people use the pulpit to self-promote. It just feels weird to me. I'd like to read something from my book. So since we were last here, I wrote a book. So anyway, this is called Faith in the System, one little chapter. Everything will be okay as soon as you are okay with everything. And that's the only time everything will be okay. Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul. Faith, F-A-I-T-H, has been said to stand for feeling all right in the heart. Feeling all right in the heart does not mean we always understand everything. It just means that, as John Lennon said, everything will be okay in the end. Being confused is okay. Thinking that there is something wrong with us for being confused, that's the problem. And as Byron Katie, one of our heroes, says, how do I know it was meant to happen that way? Because it happened that way. Now, that sounds very simple, and it is, but it's not easy because the human ego loves to judge. And so we used to watch Oprah. We would tape it. We had this thing, you may have heard of it. It's called a VCR. And we would tape Oprah every day because she would come on inconvenient times. And so we'd watch her at 9 o'clock at night, and that was like spiritual food every single day. And one day she had a couple of gentlemen on the show. You may have remembered it. It was a powerful episode. Both men had been in jail for like 10 or 15 years. And they had been in jail for taking the lives of family members. And through DNA testing and the Innocence Project, there's people out there trying to clear innocent people that were wrongly accused. They both got off, and they proved to them that it wasn't them because of DNA testing and the law team. And they were on the show talking about it, and everybody was very excited that they now had a life out of prison because they had been wrongly accused. But here was the twist that freaked everybody out. Both men had confessed to the crime. And people were like, we don't understand. And I started weeping. And I said, Angelina, I understand it. We come into this planet as sweet, beautiful, innocent children of God, and yet many times we hear from the people we most care about, including our ministers and our churches in a lot of cases, that there's something flawed with us, that there's something wrong with us, that we're not good enough, that we're not lovable. And after a while, the men said they were confused, they were thrown in prison, they were interrogated, and there was a part of them that didn't know anymore what the truth was, and there was a part of them that just wanted the voices to stop. If you just admit it, we can stop. It will get you less of a conviction. Just admit you did it, just admit it, just admit it. And all of us have had a version of people telling us, just admit there's something wrong with you. Just admit that you're flawed. Just admit that you're not lovable. And sometimes we just go, okay, whatever. Just shut up. Okay, whatever. There's something wrong with me. Big deal. Leave me alone. That kind of energy that we just get tired of the interrogation. And that's what these two men did. And I said, I understand it. We've all got our own story about that. And that is a version of confessing to the worst crime possible, a crime that you didn't do, of being unlovable. And so I finished watching the show, wiped the tears away, and I said, Angelina, I'm going to write a song about that. And I'm going to send it to the Innocence Project. They never really did anything with it, although there were people that were involved in groups that used it. But this is called Innocent. And this will be the last thing we do before we go into the offertory section. This young kid who served his prison time for a crime he did not do. He gave a false confession, and when they asked him why, he said, I did not know the truth. He was innocent. I thought about my own life, how I was like that kid when they told me I was bad. I offered my confession to what they said I did, and lost the childhood I once had. I am innocent, I did nothing wrong. I've been serving time for this crime for far too long. I am not to blame for what I didn't do. There is nothing I need to prove. I am innocent. You are innocent. This is the time for justice. This time we're gonna get it right. We're finally hearing the whole truth. You know what I did? I fired all my juries and got the pardon I deserved. And now I'm freeing other inmates too. You are innocent. You did nothing wrong. You've been serving time for this crime for far too long. You are not to blame for what you didn't do. There is nothing you need to prove. We are innocent. We did nothing wrong. We've been serving time for this crime for way too long. We are not to blame for what we didn't do. There is nothing we need to prove. I am innocent.
You are so lovable.
You are innocent.
Who you are is so important.
We are innocent.
You deserve so much love.
There is nothing we need to prove. I am innocent.
You are worthy.
You are innocent.
You are perfect in every way.
We are innocent. I now pronounce you not guilty, and so it is. And now where two or more are gathered, take up a collection. Okay.
Was in the program. Thank you so much. Not guilty, innocent. I love that. Thank you. What a wonderful message. Really pleased to have you here.
We are too.
Talk real quick, some housekeeping. We have a workshop after the service. Is that going to be here? Are we going upstairs?
We're good either way.
I'm looking at Karen.
I guess we'll do it here. That way we can have some of the music to play, for the flute players to play along. We'll be teaching the flute today.
So quick break after service, and then we'll be back in here. And then tomorrow night, back in the sanctuary, 6:30 p.m., we'll have a concert featuring Armand and Angelina. I am Paul Marquis. I'm a member of your board. Please join me in our board affirmation. The peace of God flows within each breath. In all circumstances, I heal, knowing I am whole. And as the ushers come forward, please take out your tithes and love offerings. Join me in the offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And one more quick message. Armand and Angelina want everyone to have their music, so they offer their CDs on a suggested exchange basis. Please take what you desire, give from your heart, and feel free to tithe in the future if you don't have it now. Thank you.
All right, this is easy. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not okay. I gotta play on this. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. I'm still okay, honey. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. We're gonna sha-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Every happy song has to have some sha-la-las in it. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, here comes the tricky verse. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, no matter how many times you saw The Secret, it's still gonna change. That's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the audience. Thank you, both of you. It's not the end. 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 But this is the end. And we bless these gifts that were given from generous hearts. We know that as we give, it is returned to us multiplied. And we know these gifts are going to do good work with this center, this church, and all of you. And so it is. Amen. So at this point, is it time for the peace song and the prayer of protection? Is that about what y'all do? So we're going to do it, just reverse them a little bit. We're going to do the peace song first, so please do whatever it is y'all do to get ready for that. By the way, congratulations, because we are back. There are people in church, again, after me in a house for 15 months, not good. Okay, so yeah, we are really glad to be a part of this change here. We're going to sing the peace song, and then we're going to sing the prayer of protection. Hit it, honey. The peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. And how to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. So imagine now that our unity poet, James Dillett Freeman, and the Reverend James Brown got together to sing the prayer of protection. Ow! I feel good. The light of God surrounds us. Woo! The love of God enfolds us. Ha! The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's sing it again. The light of God surrounds us. Woo! The love of God enfolds us. Ha! The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Good golly, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Happy trails, happy trails, happy trails.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails.